Playing against Thomas Roth. Roth playing Abzan Control. Noah Walker has a lot of cards in his opening hand, as you can see. 4 of them.
We've seen a lot of mulligans to 4.
A lot of those.
A lot of those this weekend.
We'll see if Noah can find a hand that actually works here, though, as Roth is playing Abzan Control. Wouldn't be surprised to see Roth take this one pretty quickly. Walker with just the planes and a passing of the turn. Roth with a copy of Temple of Silence. Walker, unsurprisingly, without a second land. Here's the Thoughtseize. So we'll see exactly what Noah is working with.
Typically a potent card against 4-card hands.
You've got a Goblin Raffle Master, a Hordling Outburst, Stoke the Flames, and a Thunder Recreation. You just can't turn it off, can you?
Nope.
Just got to always give the beats.
So I'd probably take the Rabble Master out of this hand because it's the thing that's most realistic to cast. Hordling Outburst requires running red sources of mana, and that's really hard to do.
Well, there's no source of mana there for Walker. Roth will play a Forest, pass the turn back. Walker will draw. Still no lands here for Noah. This is probably a Siege Rhino. This will probably end the game pretty quickly. Walker will draw. Copy of Soulfire Grandmaster will pass the turn back. Roth will draw.
The old mulligan to 4, discard to hand size game.
Ever heard of it? There's a passing of the turn. Take a draw. Aha! Temple of Epiphany. Leave that card on top. Pass the turn back. I suppose Roth could have the worst hand in the world. That's possible. I think he's got another spell to play. That's probably going to do it.
Yep. Noah's willing to play through just the one Siege Rhino. If he rips another red source and Thomas's hand is nothing but lands, there might be a game. But Elspeth, forget about it. We're done.
That was simple for Thomas Roth. Not a bad time to have your opponent mulligan to 4. But we're going to take a look at the sideboard here. Noah quickly going to it. What's he got to bring in?
2 copies of Anger of the Gods, 2 copies of Encasing 2 copies of Disdainful Stroke, 2 Negates, 2 copies of Burmaz, 1 Elspeth Sun's Champion, Dragon Lord Ojutai, and Erase, a Glare of Heresy, and a Seismic Rupture. I think the Glare of Heresy will come in here, the Dragon Lord Ojutai, the copy of Elspeth, alongside the counter spells in Disdainful Stroke and Negate. Basically, all of his late game cards should be coming in here.
Other side of things here for Thomas Roth. A Dromoka's Command, 2 Surge of Righteousness, 2 Mistcutter Hydra, a card we haven't seen very much of recently, 2 Self-Inflicted Wound, 2 Glare of Heresy, 2 Duress, 2 Anaphens in the Foremost, and 2 copies of Drown in Sorrow.
Not a particularly exciting sideboard for this matchup because Noah's got a diverse creature base. It's not really a Drown in Sorrow type of matchup. It's also not really a Glare of Heresy type of matchup as well. I suppose you could see the Dromoka's Command, I think, is reasonable to bring in this kind of matchup. I think he's going to sideboard really late. Maybe the copies of Anafenza as well, just as another big early body, especially if he is going to bring in Dromoka's Command. But I think this is going to be some pretty light sideboarding.
Don't expect to see a ton of changes.
Glare of Heresy's okay-ish, although he's not even positive exactly what Noah's threat base is. I don't know. I can see Thomas doing not a lot of sideboarding here.
Those players will shuffle up here for game number 2 very quickly. Noah Walker will be on the play. We will very quickly talk about Next Level Magic by Patrick Chapin, one of 2 books available by him.
Yeah, this is a great book for getting a better understanding of Magic play and philosophy, written by Patrick Chapin, Magic Hall of Famer, Pro Tour champion, 2-time Worlds runner-up. It's available on ebook as always and in paperback for the 2015 edition, which is very exciting because it's been out of print in paper book for well over a year now. Available right now at StarCityGames.com/NLM.
Here's another book, of course, Next Level Deck Building. That available on paperbook now as well, but we will talk about that one later. We will focus on the match at hand between Noah Walker and Thomas Roth, and we'll see if Noah can keep more than 4 cards.
Would be nice.
That's the trick.
Against the Thoughtseize, Heroes Downfall, Abzan Charm kind of deck.
You saying that might be a good idea?
Yeah. So Thomas's list is quite a bit different. I mean, it's Abzan Control, and normally we're thinking of 4 Courser, 4 Siege Rhino, 2 Tassiger, maybe some Planeswalkers. This deck is playing with a lot more creatures. It's playing with Hidden Dragon Slayer, Slumguard's Assassin, Den Protector, Dragon Lord Dromoka, Burmaz, Whisperwood Elemental. So much more creature-oriented.
It's definitely a different build than anything we've really seen. That's the thing about Abzan. You can build it, I don't know, 100 different ways.
Yeah, a lot of cards to choose from. I mean, Dragon Lord Dromoka, very much off the radar. That card, I think, super powerful against a variety of strategies. Not really good in the mid-range matchups, and I think that's ultimately why it hasn't seen a lot of play. But against pure control decks, all targetable 6-mana threats are not going to be very good, but at least you can't play spells, and this is uncounterable, could be disruptive in certain spots. And against very aggressive decks, Dragon Lord Dromoka is close to unbeatable.
Yep. See if Walker can find 7 cards he's happy with.
And if Noah kind of overvalues or overplays his negates in this matchup because he assumes that Thomas is just a generic Abzan control deck, could be really bad news because Thomas's list is playing a lot more to the board than most of these builds do.
Temple of Epiphany and a Mystic Monastery to start here for Walker.
Attention legacy players.
There's land number 3. Here's Goblin Rabble Master number 1. Goblin Token going to enter the battlefield, and we'll see an attack here for 1. Roth with 2 Sandsep Citadels. There I am.
Giving you a little love.
Yep. Here I go. Give him the beatdowns. About to get killed by something, probably. Morph Mania.
Ooh.
Could be anything.
Survived for a turn. Very nice. Very rare.
Thank you. Lightning Strike going to survive for another turn. There goes Den Protector. Token. Business. That's a lot of damage.
We don't get to see a lot of these Rabble Master Runaway games. Usually it's make a token, Rabble Master dies, now you have a token. But every once in a while you get to do this.
Here's a Siege Rhino. I'm fairly sure that Noah has a copy of Valor Stance in his hand, so doesn't even care about the Siege Rhino. Going to quickly untap and draw. Well, he is a little stuck on lands right now.
I don't believe he has a 4th land.
Yep. But he's still doing just fine. His Valor Stance will get the Rhino out of the way, another Goblin, more beatdowns. Roth at 8. As you mentioned, we don't get to see the Rabble Master game happen all that often, but we are right now. There's a Sandsep Citadel and passing of the turns. That means Noah's negate's probably going to be pretty good. Attack Step, Trigger, beatdowns, Abzan Charm with the Rabble Master. No, sir. There's a negate, and that's going to do this game just fine.
Easy breezy.
Yeah, Noah Walker going to win game number 2 against Thomas Roth. Just Guy Aggro, I was on control, already headed to game 3. There's 43 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah. You get some really good Rabble Master draws against opponents who have kept a slow hand. That's all that was.
We rarely, as you mentioned, get to see that kind of draw anymore.
Most people are ready to interact, and you know the Abzan control deck, they have a lot of 3-mana removal options, and Bioblight and now Ultimate Price as well, so they're usually shored up. And the red decks have Wild Slash and Lightning Strike and no end of removal, but you are going to get hands like the one that Thomas kept, where it's, you know, my first play is a turn 4 Siege Rhino, and I got other stuff to do, and you're liable to Rabble Master, and it just happens.
And we can't forget, Searchlight is actually a turn 3 morph.
Yeah.
To trade with Rabble Master, and that didn't get to happen because of Lightning Strike. Siege Rhino got killed by Valor Stance. Abzan Charm got countered by Negate, and that'll wrap it up. We will very quickly talk about Chapin's other book now, since we have so much time, Next Level Deck Building.
So if you want to get a better understanding of deck building, if you're someone who has just started playing Magic all the way up to people who are playing in PTQs and Grand Prix trying to get to your next level, this is a very helpful book that explains deck building philosophies and skills more succinctly and more deeply than any other book that's available by Patrick Chapin. Again, a Magic Hall of Famer and Pro Tour champion. This is the first time it's available in paperback. It's only been in ebook before. It's 500 full color pages, and it's available right now at StarCityGames.com/nextlevel.
I hope a third book's on the way. What else can you write about? There's probably a lot to write about.
At some point, that man's going to put together an autobiography, and that's going to be great.
Yeah, that's true. That'll be a delight. Rumor has it another album is on the way.
Mm-hmm.
Rumor has it. I wouldn't mind that, though. First one was a success. As I told him, if he needs a guest on track.
Oh, yeah, I know there's a standing invitation.
I'm his guy. Can't really rap all that well, but, you know, for him, I'll give it a try.
Well, he can offer you the same guidance he provides in Next Level Deck Building and Next Level Magic. I'm sure
he's a teacher.
Next Level Bar Spitting is something he could put together for you.
I suppose that's true. If you are just joining us, we do appreciate having you as we're making our way through round number 14 very quickly. Center fields, Patrick Sullivan, Ken Crocker in the sideboard, doing your deck techs and picking your matches all weekend long. We do wish Nick Miller the best.
Speedy recovery, please.
Had some surgery unexpected, but Ken able to take the role. Do a really nice job here this weekend with the deck techs and selecting of matches. Of course, the rest of the SCG Live crew here as well in Providence, Rhode Island. At SCG Live, hashtag SCGPROV for your tweets all weekend long as we make it through just a couple more Swiss rounds here. Andrew Boswell is locked for the top 8. We got to figure out if Noah Walker will be, along with the other 6 competitors. that we expect to see in the top 8 this evening. And then we'll work our way through those elimination rounds and crown ourselves a champion. Someone's walking out here with $5,000, 25 Open Series points, and an invite to our Season 2 Invitational.
Never a good time to need surgery, but on the heels of, or right before potentially returning to his home state of Ohio to cover an Open, Cleveland next weekend.
Yep.
Pretty bad timing.
I'd rather just be in pain than have surgery. That's just kind of where I'm not a big surgery or hospital guy.
Thing is, it only gets worse, typically. It doesn't just go away.
But can't it?
Probably not.
Oh.
That's why people need surgery.
Oh, okay. Here's a Temple of Epiphany. Top card stays on top. Pass it back to Roth. He started with a Temple of Silence, his second land. That'll be a Temple of Plenty. Top card. We'll see where that goes here in just a second. It's going to go to the bottom here for Thomas. To Walker we go. No Thoughtseize from Roth. It's a Flooded Strand and a passing of the turn. For Roth, perhaps we see a Morph. Swamp is a land. Bermaz is the play.
And this might be the first real indicator to Noah that there's something different about Thomas's build. You don't see a lot of Bermazes hanging out in Obzon control lists, and could potentially be bad news. This is not the easiest card for Jeskai aggro or other decks based on red removal to get off the table. It's Soak the Flames, plus, you know, if he's brought in his one Glare of Heresy, you get off the table that way, but it's not an easy card to answer.
Does he have Valorous Stance? Doesn't look like he does.
Legacy players, welcome to round 5. You have 50 minutes. Good luck. Please begin.
It's also a nice preemptive answer to the Rabble Master that I believe is in Noah's hand as well.
And Noah's hand a little awkward at this point. Looks like he's going to start with Flooded Strand, go down to 18. There's an island. So all 3 colors of mana online for the Jeskai deck. But it does not look like we'll be seeing a Mantis Rider. We'll just see a Rabble Master. There's your Goblin token, attack, block. That's going to give him a cat token.
Yeah, this is a spot where Noah really wanted to do this.
Post-combat.
Right. Noah's been very tight on camera so far this weekend, and a lot of people have been speaking very highly of it, but
yeah, in this situation,
I mean,
he does get to deal the damage to the cat. Yeah,
it's a freebie.
But it's still better just to play it at post-combat.
Yeah.
There's a Temple.
Noah still gets to order, so it's not a huge deal.
So Rabble Master versus Bermaz.
There was some hesitation in his body language that he
had made an error there.
Yeah.
There's Bile Blight. Token attack, 4 damage coming through. We'll head back Walker's way. There's red, Stoke the Flames. Have to take 1 to cast it, but it's worth it to get Bermaz off the table.
But this is kind of the same sequence we see with Rabble Master a lot, where Thomas gets a token left over for his troubles, and Noah's behind on the board and behind on the race.
And here's Siege Rhinos. It's going to put him further behind. Walker will draw. He's going to need something like a Glare of Heresy, Valorous Stance, Roast, some way to get that Rhino off the board in an efficient manner. He's got some real catching up to do.
He's got to take their time in hand, so it's not the end of the world for him to spend 2 spells getting rid of a Siege Rhino here, but there's just other cards in Thomas's hand, and these little points of damage do add up. You know, he's going to take another hit off the cat, takes a damage off the land here. It all adds up.
He had to get the Siege Rhino off the table.
Yep, especially with Thomas's list having a lot more creatures in it than the average list of Obzon control.
Well, this dig through time better be good. Because Walker is down to 4. Six cards in Graveyard, however. Okay, I think he's got to find some sort of 2-mana way to get Siege Rhino off the table. Here is Dig. There goes the whole graveyard. Lightning Strike, a Plains, Shivan Reef, Stoke the Flames, Temple of Epiphany ×2. I didn't see a single white card there. Stormbreath Dragon as well. Yeah, that's going to do it. Thomas Roth is going to win this match here over Noah Walker, 2-1. Abazan Control is going to take care of Jeskai Aggro. Siege Rattle, a very powerful magic card as these players discuss the game.
Still good against Jeskai Aggro.
Yep.
And it's the most common way that this deck falls is Rhino's too big, swings the damage race too much, gives the Abzone Control deck time to leverage its more expensive spells, and in some games just can't be killed because there aren't that many removal spells in the aggro deck that can touch it.